need some help.
There's work to be done. It's past sunrise.
Henry, can you hear me?
Get up, Henry. Wake up. It's a new day.
Henry, can you hear me? Hallelujah. I thought you'd never wake. Were you having a nightmare?
Teresa?
You still have a fever. Uncle won't be pleased, but you'll have to stay in bed.
Where am I? In Skalitz?
We're at my uncle's mill in Rattay. I didn't know where else to go.
What happened?
You don't remember anything? I suppose that's not surprising. I found you in Skalitz after those bandits attacked you. I thought they'd done for you, but you were still breathing. Why in heaven's name did you go back there? It was madness. They slaughtered everyone who didn't run.
My parents, I wanted to bury them. I had to...
Don't worry. I took care of it.
Thank you.
Any good Christian would have done the same. Now sleep. You need your strength back. You're awake.
Good morning.
It's near midnight. You've slept all day.
Oh. Oh, I feel like a horse fell on me.
The beating you took was worse. But at least the fever's broken.
How did you manage to save me?
You were lucky. I was in Skalitz and I saw Zbyszek and his thugs. I tried to distract them, but it would have been no use if those soldiers from Tamburg hadn't arrived. They were searching for you and scattered the bandits.
What in the world were you doing in Skalitz?
Waiting to die.
What?
They killed my brothers, my family, my friends.
They're all dead.
All of them. Everyone I ever loved. They killed one of my brothers in the mines. After that, what did I have to live for?
Don't say that. There's always hope.
No, there isn't. But it doesn't matter. I'm a different person now.
Searching for me?
Yes. Lord Divish sent them, led by Captain Robard. So tell me, why is a lord of such high standing interested in a blacksmith?
Sir Divish promised Sir Radzig he'd look after me. But as for why they should care, I've no idea. Oh, I'm exhausted.
I'm not surprised. I'll bring you water and something to eat. In the meantime, rest. You're still very weak. Good morning to you. How's the invalid today?
Ugh, haven't felt as good as this since they lashed me to the wheel and quartered me on the town square.
Got your sense of humor back. You must be better. My uncle will be glad to hear it. I had a job persuading him to let me bring you here. If you'd lain around much longer, he really would have dumped you on the town square. You can stay until you find somewhere else to live, but my uncle will want payment for taking you in and caring for you.
And this is your uncle's house?
We're in Rattay Mill. My uncle's miller Peshek. He took me in, and I talked him into taking care of you too.
I've been lying here long enough.
Uncle will be pleased he's one mouth less to feed. But are you truly well enough?
Well enough to do what has to be done. Where can I find Sir Radzig?
He's in the lower castle in Perkstein. He's a guest of Sir Hanush of Leipa. But someone like you can't just walk up bold as you please and demand an audience.
I know Sir Radzig, and I didn't bring him his sword as I was supposed to. I must see him.
If you insist. But you need to speak to my uncle first. You've been in your sickbed for over a fortnight while he paid the apothecary to tend to you, and for medicine. That's a good deal of coin you owe him.
I've been lying here 2 weeks. My God.
Better a fortnight in bed than an eternity in the grave. If it weren't for my uncle, you wouldn't be here at all.
I owe you both my life, and I'll repay my debt. You have my word.
All right. But before you go to town, you should eat something. You're still weak. There's food on the table for you.
Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Kingdom Come Deliverance Let's Play. So we're into the game proper now. We're through the prologue and able to, just kind of go about our business in whatever way we choose at this point. So, I did want to let you guys know, before we dive into this episode, that this is my second attempt at recording it. Not that there's any issues that, caused a crash or anything like that. I just wasn't happy.
My stomach hurts.
Apparently we need to eat. I wasn't happy with how the episode came out, so I decided to just go back to the beginning and re-record it. There wasn't necessarily, again, anything wrong with it. I just felt like it came off a little bit sloppy, and I wasn't happy with it overall, so I'm just going to do it again. But here we are, so let's go ahead and hop on up, and we'll go collect our gear, which is going to be in this chest here. And then be on our way. Now, I don't have a way to really unload a lot of this stuff, so what I'm going to do is only take what I can wear on me at the moment, and we'll leave the rest here to potentially sell off later. Let's bring those. Oh, there's one of my DLC items. I'm probably not going to use that, to be honest. It feels a little cheaty. We'll bring some hunter's gloves, maybe this leather jerkin. And I should probably bring some sort of headgear, even if I don't wear it straight away. And then weapons. We need weapons. We can't really use this bow. We'll get a bow probably by the end of this episode, so I'll just leave this here. Which sword is going to be the best sword? We can use that one. I do worry about meeting the minimum agility. How much do they weigh? Maybe I should bring both. Is either of these stolen? I don't think so. So we'll take Shard and we'll take the Reliable Blade. We'll leave the rest. And I think I'll bring a shield just in case. All of these being short swords, it's a good idea to run them with a shield. With a long sword, it's a bad idea. But we don't have a long sword yet. Although we will ultimately try to use them, because that's, I think, my favorite weapon in the game, although not necessarily the most optimal. We'll take these maps and bandages, and of course our coin, and Kunesh's keys, because why not, and those lockpicks. Okay, let's get ourselves dressed here. I'm just going to throw on the most basic stuff right now. We're not exactly going into a fight or anything like that. So that'll cover us for the time being. Alright, so there we go. We'll eat from this pot. Now, I do think that they made it a little bit harder to keep yourself fed, from what I can tell. So, whereas before eating once per day from these pots was enough, it seems like we need to eat almost 2 or 3 times. So that's something I'll try to keep in mind as we move forward. Alright, so let's step on out, give ourselves a quick wash. And because Mr. Miller Peshek here took such great care of us, I feel like Henry would, want to sort of make amends and pay off his debt. I feel like Henry would feel sort of honor-bound to do that at the very least. Plus, if we don't settle our debts with this guy, he will send people after us later. Plus, his quests are kind of interesting.
Hey. My name's Henry. Thank you for taking care of me here.
My name's Peshek, and I'm the miller here. You've already met my niece, Teresa. She took care of you for 2 whole weeks while you were in limbo. And talking of you being at death's door, while you were lying here, you worked up quite a bill with the bloodletter, who came now and again to keep you alive with his potions. That quack doesn't come cheap. I paid him what I could, but I still, that is, you still owe him.
I see. Well, it's better to be in debt than to lie dead in a ditch. What do I owe? I'm not afraid of hard work.
You won't pay for that shoveling manure. I might have a better job for you. And it's not something any fool can do. If you prove to me you're a clever lad, I might trust you with something you could really make money from. What do you say?
Well, what would you need from me?
A trifle. Just to take something from someone and bring it to someone else. And not get caught while you're doing it.
That sounds straightforward enough. Except for not get caught. Why would anyone want to catch me?
Oh, don't worry. It's just a job like any other. Only this one requires, let's say, the right moral disposition. Do corpses bother you?
No honourable man should touch them. That's the executioner's job.
Did you expect I'd give you a hoe and send you out to the fields? You can dig all right, but somewhere else. I want to know whether you're going to hide behind some stupid fucking scruples, or if you might be useful for more unconventional work.
I was prepared for just about anything, but that's a bit much. But go on. Tell me more.
Listen, it's about this ring my mate, Wojciech, the Kohelnitz miller, had his eye on. Trouble is, they buried the ring by the gibbet, along with the villain they hung while he was wearing it.
Jesus Christ. You want me to dig up a corpse, take a ring from it, and give it to your friend in Kohelnitz? Is nothing sacred to you?
Money first, morals later. That fellow is dead. He won't miss it. Whatever bleeding heart came up with the idea that it's disrespectful to disturb a corpse never read the Bible. It's still a human body, only it's missing a soul. Why be disgusted by something created by God?
I think I've already heard more than I need to know. You've got the tongue of the devil himself. If you tried hard enough, I bet you could justify sodomy with a goat.
Watch your mouth, boy. There's a shovel here around the mill somewhere. If there's any problem, come and see me. And here's something on the side to make you dig better.
Thanks. I'll need it. I can't believe I've come to this. Digging up corpses.
Oh, and watch out for the executioner and his hounds. They're pretty savage. And I don't just mean the dogs. You can just throw them some meat. The dogs, that is. But the executioner? Well, don't vex him. Take care now.
Alright, so we're going to do his line of quests. Now, I do feel like Henry is a bit of an idealist, and he might take issue with some of this stuff, but given how his world has been kind of flipped upside down in the last few days, I feel like he would be a little bit more open to just about anything at this point. And while I don't plan on playing him as like a full-on thief necessarily, I do think that he would be open to thievery in the right circumstances. In this case, it doesn't really seem to be hurting anybody, so I think Henry would, you know, maybe at least consider it. So we've got the spade. We just need to head over to the executioner's place now. And like he said, it's important that you don't vex the executioner, or kill him for that matter, because the executioner does have several quests potentially later on. And so if you screw this up too badly, you may lock yourself out of those quests. This is the gallows, I believe. And so we need to find the grave, and here it is. It's the only one around. So let's dig this corpse up, and we will hopefully find this ring. Now, we're not actually going to find the ring when we search the body here, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. But let's get him in there.
Christ wound, what a fucking stink. How long have you been lying here? Nothing on the left hand. The right? Oh shit, there's nothing there either. Where the fuck is that ring? Oh, the stench makes me want to puke. Peshek will pay for this.
Okay, so the game will prompt you to go back to Peshek and talk to him. But what he's going to do is just send you right back here because he believes that the executioner would have taken it. And I think Henry is smart enough to maybe have made that guess for himself. So rather than heading all the way back there to ultimately just come here again, we're going to go straight for the ring. because I know where it is. And so, of course, that is a bit of metagame knowledge. But again, I feel like Henry could put 2 and 2 together himself and realize, you know, maybe the executioner took it off the body before burying it. It's just a matter of where. There's so many dogs about. I'm going to use this little space behind the building here to try to circumvent them. Now, if you have raw meat, you could distract them with it, but I do not. So this is going to be a little bit harder, but still very doable. Although I do worry I've gone a little bit too far back around this way. So there's the entrance. There's a dog sitting right next to it. Good dog. Okay. So we'll head inside, and as far as I can tell, he's in there because I haven't seen him walking around out here. So we'll need to be extra careful. Before I go in there, let's look at our gear and just make sure I'm not wearing anything that's going to make me even more noticeable. Okay, so that leather jerkin needs to not be on. It's too noisy. These old boots are a bit noisy as well. We'll take those off. I think that's as silent as we can be without going fully naked, which is definitely a viable strategy. So we're in a private area. We won't want to be noticed here. He's sitting against the wall over there. Let's duck in here and we'll search all these chests first. We're trespassing, so we cannot be found in here. He'll be immediately upset. If he finds us in the private area, he won't mind as much. He'll just ask us to leave. So let's lockpick this. If we fail these lockpicking attempts, we could be in real trouble because it'll make noise. So let's not fail them. There's one. Oh, well that's convenient.
This is nothing but an ordinary copper band. It's not worth a 10 penny.
Okay. I'm going to take the Savior Schnapps as well because that's, you know, sort of an in-game mechanic. I'm also going to pick this lock here, but we're not going to clean this guy out. Again, I don't feel like Henry would just needlessly steal from people that haven't, you know, done anything wrong. But the Savior Schnapps is a different story because those are something that only we as the player can really use. So yeah, we'll leave all that be. I just wanted the extra experience. Now, we need to get out of here without being noticed. Okay. And we appear to have done so. So let's make a dash for it. Alright, so we're back at the mill. Let's go ahead and turn this in. Actually, before I do that, though, I wanted to look at our skills. Because we do have a couple level ups we've yet to spend any points on yet. So we have one in our main level. Of these abilities, I think Scout 1 is the only one without any downside. So this is going to make our food last longer, but when we get hungry, we'll be hit even harder by the negative effects. Manly Odor will give us more charisma with women when dirty, but will be worse at stealth. Night Rider just gives us better... Sorry about that. So Night Rider will give us better stamina regeneration at night, but worse during the day. And then Wanderer will give us better sleep in poor beds, but worse sleep in good beds. And again, with all these having trade-offs, I'm not particularly interested. Scout, however, just makes us less likely to be waylaid on our fast travels. So I'm going to grab that. Even though I don't often fast travel. Then we have 2 perks to spend in strength. We have Gravedigger, which lets us carry bodies more easily. Stronghold, which lets us block with shields at the cost of less stamina. Clinch Master, which will allow us a greater chance of winning clinches. And Mule, that just gives us increased carrying capacity. That's probably my first choice, so I'm going to grab that one. And then I do like the idea of Clinch Master, because clinches are very, very important to win when you can. If you're fighting somebody who has a better weapon or a weapon with better reach, being able to tie them up with a clinch is a great way to sort of mitigate that. Even if you have the advantage, being able to sort of push people around with clinches is great too. And of course, in fist fighting, it is a very useful tactic, so we're going to learn that. And I believe that is all of our points, yeah. So, there we go. Let's go talk to Peshek.
God be with you.
I have that ring for you.
Good. Nice to know you're the sort of lad I can trust with a job like that. Now run with the ring to Wojciech, the miller in Kohelnitz. He'll have some work for you, and I'll have something for you soon too. A clever fellow like you will never want for work. At the very least, I'll buy risky goods from you. I mean the kind that used to belong to someone else and you can't sell to just anyone.
Alright, so he's basically offering his services as a fence now. And because we've completed that first objective, we are no longer indebted to him and he won't send people after us. So we don't necessarily need to do this next task immediately.
You'll buy stolen goods from me. Oh, thanks for your trust. I'm sure that'll come in useful.
Alright, I'm going to ask him to teach us a few things, specifically lockpicking and pickpocketing. I don't necessarily need his help with the former, but he'll show us the little practice station he's got. And then with the latter, since we haven't done any pickpocketing, it'll be a nice introduction.
Goodbye. Try unlocking this trunk.
Okay, so let's lockpick this.
Hold the lockpick in your right hand and use it to feel out the tumbler. In your left hand, you hold the... Got it? Good. Now turn the whole lock with the blade, but don't stop holding. You forced it and broke the lockpick. That crack could be hurting Kuttenberg. You have to watch out. You're a dab hand, Hal. Make something out of you yet. But remember, this trunk's only for practice. With real locks, you have to watch out for the pick. Try to
So what
few
do
more times if you like. Then good luck with the real thing.
What he's saying there is that when practicing with this, ooh, save your schnapps. You don't have to worry about breaking your picks, so you can pretty much do this indefinitely. Don't store stuff in here though, because if you do, you can break it, and the chest won't work as a practice thing anymore. As it is right now, every time you unlock it and open it, it'll reset and lock itself again. But as soon as you put stuff in there, it stays unlocked forever. So I don't recommend it. Damn. Why is this one so much harder than the others? I think I'm just being overzealous. Pushing it too far. The annoying thing is you do have to open it though and then close it. And then it resets. Okay, so let's run over here. And I'd like to fence the rest of our stuff. Well, it's not really fencing. This stuff isn't stolen, just looted. I'd like to unload all this stuff though. And gain some money that we can buy some better gear with. We'll also ask him about pickpocketing while we've got him over here.
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right. Let's see what we can do about that. I'll see you later.
Okay, so we'll want to buy a dagger from him. Dagger is the only way to conduct stealth kills. So it's a good idea to have one as early as possible. We can't read yet, so this isn't going to help us, and I'm not going to bother with treasure maps. I will probably maybe dedicate an episode to finding all the treasure, but you don't necessarily need a map to do it. And, you know, we can always buy these at any time. And I will maybe grab a couple more lockpicks, just in case. So then let's unload everything that we have. This axe is essentially destroyed, so I don't need it. The reliable blade is worth a lot more than anything else. Let's add the bow. I'll add this. The reliable blade and maybe needle, and I'll just use shard for now. Shard's probably the only one I can use with my current agility. Actually, I'm too low in agility even for that. So I'm a long way off from the others, because this is what, 3? The others were like 6 and 8, so yeah, makes the most sense to keep that one. I don't need this. I have a padded one. I'm probably not going to wear that. A little bit too conspicuous. I don't need doubles of those. Since this is destroyed, I guess I'll get rid of it. Not worth paying to patch it up when I have one that's in full condition, that's only slightly worse. I'll keep the linen hood. I believe it's useful for stealth. Actually, not really. It's not that good, so I'll just get rid of it. Noble's shoes will sell. These old boots are fine. The patched hose can go. I'm not a huge fan of these, so I'll just get rid of them. And very shortly, they're going to be useless anyways because we'll be given something that's better. This red scarf I'll keep. And I'm going to sell the Warhorse Gambeson. Or maybe I'll leave it in the chest. And I'll collect the full set, but I'm not actually going to wear it, at least not right now. So, he's going to give us 670. Is there anything else we want to unload? Oh, I've got stolen savior schnapps. I should leave those in the chest because we could get them confiscated. Yeah, I think that's good. So let's go to the basket and we are of course going to haggle.
Let's talk about the price.
Naturally.
Let's see what we can do. I'll start at 8. 10.
Agree?
That's too much.
Okay, he's going to go up to 720. I'll offer 740.
See now, I knew we'd come to an agreement.
So that's an extra 70 groschen I wouldn't have had otherwise, which is more money in and of itself than we had before we sold all that stuff. So let's ditch a few things in the chest, and then we're going to probably head into town. So I'd like to leave the Warhorse Gambeson, the Stolen Savior Schnapps, and I'll probably leave the Spade. It's a good idea to keep the Spade around because there are other quests where you might need it. Granted, there are other spades to find, but if you always have one on you, then you don't have to worry about it. I like to generally leave them on my horse, though, when we get our own horse, because the horse has storage just like we do, and it's not something you necessarily need to keep on your person. But, again, it is a good thing to have accessible.
I'm Henry, son of the Skalitz blacksmith. I'm going to see my liege, Sir Radzig Kabila of Dvoyets.
Of course you are, lad, and I'm the Pope. What do you want from his lordship, and what makes you think he'll see you?
I may not look the part, but I know about honour and duty. And mine is to tell Sir Radzig what happened to the sword he commissioned.
Alright then, go ahead. It'll be your skin if Sir Radzig isn't pleased.
Okay, that went pretty well. So here's the other pot I was referring to, if you ever need to eat. There's one there, and there's also one right here. So plenty of food about if you need it. I'm not going to go straight to Sir Radzig, it's a bit late in the day to start that quest. So I'm going to just kind of peruse the town a bit and see what we can find for ourselves. Let's see, what's this? There's a quest, not giver? Maybe a quest, this guy. Oh, it's Kunesh.
How many people died and this bastard has to survive?
I see you survived.
Aren't you observant?
You still owe me. Don't think I've forgotten.
I don't owe you. I owe your father, and he's dead. So get out of here.
You can't avoid this forever, you know.
Of course I can. It's you who can't piss me off forever.
You want another beating?
No, I don't.
So, what about the debt then?
Fine, I owe you. And what am I supposed to do about it? You think you'll get anything from me? Look at what I've got. But maybe I could. Maybe I could tell you where you can find some money. If you forgive my debt, that is.
Alright then. Start talking.
No. First, I want you to swear you won't be demanding anything else from me.
Very well then. Talk.
When we were running from Skalitz, I heard something. I don't know who said it. It's a miracle I could even hear it in that chaos. Either way, somebody hid a lot of coin under a dovecote.
Under a dovecote? And that's it?
That's all I know. How many dovecotes could there be in Skalitz? If you've got the guts to go back there, you're bound to find it.
Fine. We'll see.
Right, so by talking to him again, of course, we get ourselves another quest, so it's worth doing, even though I don't feel great about shaking down Skalit's refugees. He's kind of an ass, so I feel less bad about shaking him down. Anyways, we're going to try to find some more little side quests while we're here. There's one with like kind of a brawling ring. I'll have to see where we can initiate that from. But I also want to maybe look at buying some clothes and patching ourselves up. I think we're going to take the rest of this day to just kind of get ourselves acclimated in our new surroundings, and then we'll sleep, and in the morning we'll go to Sir Radzig.
Hal, what are you doing here? I took you for dead.
Oh, it's a long story. But what about you? How did you get out of Skalit's?
You wouldn't believe it. A frightful storm broke that night and Sigismund's heathens ran back to their camp. They never dreamed Sir Radzig would use the storm as cover for our escape. The entire village slipped away as quiet as mice while no one watched. In the morning, when those bandits attacked, all they found was an empty castle with an old goat inside. I wish I could have seen their faces.
So do I. You tricked them nicely. See you later.
My respects to you.
How does life in Rattay suit you?
I suppose it was kind of them to take us in. But then they just left us to fend for ourselves. Nobody gives a damn about us.
I noticed some of the Skalit's men look like they've been in the wars. Has something happened here?
There's a local brawler who takes on all comers for bets. If you beat him, you get some silver. If you lose, you have to do his job for him.
Oh, I'll have to look into that.
How does life in Rattay suit you?
It'd be fine if we didn't have to sleep in hovels and beg for alms. And the bailiff is always on our backs, the bastard. But what can we do? We've got nowhere else to go.
Did you find out what actually happened?
What do I know? The lords are at each other's throats, but it's us that has to suffer for it. Same as always. I reckon they was after the silver mines, wasn't they?
What are you hanging around for? Don't you have any work to do?
No, I don't. Sigismund's marauders took everything I had and reduced me to beggary.
What's it about?
Since I lost everything, I've been doing whatever I could to survive. Only, I got caught with my hand in someone else's pocket. And since then, I can't even set foot on the square without the catchpoles pouncing on me.
So you're a pickpocket? Alright, get to the point. But keep your hands where I can see them.
My honestly begged groschen were taken from me by that bastard of a guard, Pasdera. He claimed I stole them and took them for himself, the swine. Well, if you can get them from his pocket back into mine, where they rightfully belong, I'll give you a share and teach you a handy trick too. What do you say?
Alright, I reckon I can manage that. How much coin are we talking about?
Everything he has on him. Half is yours.
It all sounds a bit fishy.
Well, take it or leave it. But if you get my money back from Pastor of the Guard, I'm sure I can put some more work your way.
Alright, so again, I do think Henry would be down for a bit of mischief, so long as it was benefiting the Skalit's refugees who were otherwise not being treated so great. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find a whole lot of other stuff to do because it's so late in the day, and it won't be possible for us to finish the other quest if we start it now.
You are the soul of kindness.
So I guess what we'll do is I'll keep kind of looking around for any other side quests and then call it a night, and we'll come back in the morning.
Are you the brawler who takes bets?
What's it to you?
I'm a Skalit's refugee, and I'd like to try my luck against you.
Hang on, I know who you are. And I'll only fight you for silver. Got it?
Why for silver?
Do I really have to tell you? Look at yourself, and then look at the others. All they've got to wager is their labor. But you've got coin.
Are there any rules?
Aye, a couple. Whoever lands on his arse or runs, loses. And no knives, axes, or any of that shit. You'll forfeit your wager for that, got it?
Alright, let's fight then, if you think you can take me.
Hold your horses, laddie. First you have to prove you're a worthy opponent for me by beating 2 other regular brawlers. Stephen, and a fellow they call Ringlet.
Alright, well, we'll try to do that before we start anything else. We need to find them, though. I thought I saw Stephen on the ground when I came in, but he's probably still asleep. There he is.
Shit. Start off.
Ah, great. I don't want to wait around. Are the shops open yet? I'd like to keep these first couple days productive. I don't like wasting time in this game, because with the sleeping and eating, you do end up losing a lot of time to that sort of thing. So it just kind of sucks to, you know, have to stand around and do nothing for several hours. Of course, you can pass the time, but it's still time lost and energy lost, because Henry's awake whether you're doing stuff or not.
You're Stephen, aren't you? Milan tells me he won't fight me until I beat you.
Oh, yeah? And why would you want to? Well, never mind. I'll fight you if you pay me. What do you say?
Alright, here we go. Ooh, right out of the gate. Oh, he's tough, though. No. Oh, we got him. Nice.
Kurva.
There's that perk for you. Ooh, that right hook. Ouch. Caught me with a jab. Ah, damn, I stepped into that. Sometimes you can cut him off if you hit him with a jab as they're, you know, doing a big swing, but sort of like that. It's risky, because if you're just a half second too late, then they land it and you're wide open. Ooh. Just like that. Down goes Frazier. I'm not going to kill him, obviously. I might look at what he's got on his person, though. He's got a dagger, some groschen. Again, I don't think Henry would steal from this guy, so I'm just going to leave him alone. We did level up, though, so let's take care of that. Main level. Do we unlock anything new? Renegade brand. Penalties on stats following release from jail are 20% lower. So let's see. Insomniac. Increases time you can go without sleep. Your energy level falls 1/4 more slowly. And again, there's no trade-offs to these. Whereas, like this, of course, better beds are going to suffer a penalty for the benefit of good beds or bad beds working better. So, I think I would really like Insomniac. Going longer without sleep is really useful. It'll make our days a little bit longer, and you do suffer penalties if you stay up too late, because eventually my stamina bar will start to permanently deplete. And the only way to recoup that is, of course, to get some rest. I believe the entrance to town is up there, so we're going to take a shortcut. Now we need to find Ringlet and beat him so that we can fight Milan. And then we'll be done with this little side quest and we can go talk to Sir Radzig. Alright, so I just gained a perk in vitality from running around so much. So let's see. What do we want? Marathon Man allows us to run slower but for a longer time, or at least sprint for a longer time. Sprinter does the opposite, so we're faster but we have less stamina, or we burn stamina faster. Or we can be thick-blooded. That's, again, the only one without any sort of downside, so that's always what I choose first. I'm pretty happy with the speed that I run at, and I don't necessarily want less stamina, or at least my stamina to be burned more quickly. But I also don't want to be slower than I am right now. So I probably won't ever choose either of those perks, if I'm being honest.
Milan says I have to beat you before he'll take me on.
What do you want out of it? You're not living in the dirt here like the rest of us.
Maybe not. But why shouldn't I try and beat some coin out of him too?
Yeah, and you can pass it on to us that need it.
Okay. Let's get right into this. It's not looking great for him so far. Ooh. Kicking the shins. Damn it, no, no, no. Alright, well, we're still beating the hell out of him. Ooh, stepped right into that. Down he goes. Alright, let's take a peek at what he's got on him. Again, I'm probably not going to loot him. Oh, Die of Misfortune. I will steal that. And the Shrinking Playing Die. I'll take that as well. The Savior Schnapps he doesn't need. The rest of this I'll leave with him. I'm not going to steal his Groschen or anything, but he has no use for any of the stuff that we just relieved him of, so let's go find Milan.
You gave those two a pretty good hiding, and I made a groschen or two in bets. You Skalitz fellows are good for my purse.
Not for long. Alright, so here we go. He's going to be significantly harder than the others. We're probably not going to win any of those tie-ups. But Henry will have no qualms about looting this guy. But look at you. Dodging. Come on. Come on, Henry, you got this. Oh, look at you. Actually throwing jabs. We're not really hurting him either. Ooh. Yeah, he actually throws some combos. I gotta try to time it so I can hit him when he throws a punch. That didn't work. Come on, step into one. Step into one. There we go. Probably the only way I'm gonna do any real damage to him. Oh, our agility's finally up. We can use this sword properly. Ouch. That was a pretty good little combo he threw. Again, they appear to have made fist fighting a lot easier though, because I'm not really taking damage.
Way off.
Nice, there we go. Uh-oh. He's slowing down. Ooh, he was not ready for that. Right in the face. Strength is up again. This has been great for our training. Ouch. Yeah, see, I'm not taking any damage. I don't know what that's about. Like, there's no way I could lose this at the current rate because he's just not doing damage. It could be that they just nerfed unarmed combat in general. Because I remember when the game first released, I was actually able to beat people with weapons in unarmed combat. So somebody would rush me with a sword and I could just, you know, fist fight them and win. We need to stop with the clinch stuff because he's gonna win more often than not. We almost got him though. That was a good one. Come on, what's it gonna be? Ooh. Ouch, ouch. Ooh, that was close. Wasn't ready for that though. Yeah, this almost feels cheap. I can't seem to take any damage and I don't know why that is. I wonder if it's a bug. That or they just nerfed unarmed combat or the difficulty in it a little bit too much. Because this guy used to be a real challenge. Just like Kunesh used to be at the beginning of the game. And now I could just stand here and tank and he won't even hurt me. I'm kind of curious now. Might let him pummel me for a bit.
This won't take long.
It already has.
Well landed. Oh dear! Did that hurt?
Yo! Yeah, so I can't take damage apparently. I just stand there and let him hit me for a little bit. And it does hurt my stamina, but not permanently. And my health doesn't do anything, so that might be a bug. which is a real bummer because I enjoy the unarmed combat competitions in this game. There's actually a few of them. And it looks like there won't really be any actual challenge in fighting them because I can't lose. Let's see. I'm gonna try one more thing because it's possible he can only hurt me when my stamina is depleted. So I'm gonna deplete my stamina and then let him hit me. I need to be careful though because if I land one hit, he's probably done. I guess I'll just run around in circles. I'm trying to throw you a bone here, buddy.
Gone weak at the knees, have you?
Okay, so yes, I can only take damage when my stamina is depleted. So by fighting like I'm doing and not wasting stamina, I'm essentially invulnerable. But at least I know the game's not broken and I can take damage. Granted, I think we took damage before, just not in hand-to-hand combat. There we go. Alright, so he goes down. I'm gonna loot his body. Since he's been taking advantage of the Skalit's people. I'm gonna take all his Groschen. All 33 of them. I'll take his Savior Schnapps. His keys. Is it worth taking his keys? I like his boots, actually. And his food. Anything else? Let's see. I'm gonna leave him my old boots, I think. Noise 43. Yeah, those are just outright better. There you go.
Thief!
Oh no!
Guard! Come here quick! There's a thief over there!
No, there isn't.
I see a thief! Guard!
Hey, get back here.
Quick, everyone! Come here!
This is so bad.
Somebody help! Come here quick! Alarm! My God!
Alright, well, we obviously took too long. I'm gonna go dump all of my stolen stuff in the chest so that I don't lose it. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to pay a small bounty and work to get our rep back up here now. It's not gonna be too bad, but it still sucks. Shouldn't have lingered. Normally they stay out a lot longer, so I guess that's changed as well.
So it's you. You were seen starting a brawl. You should have thought twice about what you're doing. That will land you a fat fine.
Alright, so we'll pay it. I'm gonna roleplay this as though Milan didn't like losing and kind of threw us under the bus because we're a Skalit's refugee. The guards would never side with us. And so, you know, he was the one starting this brawling ring, but of course, as soon as he loses, he'll pin it on somebody else and accuse us of stealing, and because we're from Skalit's, the guards will never take us seriously. I'm just gonna pay it.
Damn it. Here's your coin then.
You've purged yourself before the law. But I'll be keeping an eye on you. You can be sure of that.
Alright, well that did level us up in speech at least, so let's take a look at that. So what do we have? Final offer. When a trader loses patience with you during haggling, you get one more chance to make an offer. That would be really helpful because we've actually lost a lot of reputation in failing haggling. Highborn is going to give us +3 speech when talking to nobles, but removes the ability to take the lowborn perk. This is going to be +3 to commoners, but we can't take highborn. Between those, I recommend highborn. Nobles are harder to talk to in general and more difficult to impress with clothing. Whereas with commoners, if you have fancy clothing or armor on, they're actually quite easy to persuade without using speech necessarily. So I do think highborn is the better choice, although you could still make an argument for lowborn because more often than not you're going to be talking to commoners. You don't talk to nobles quite as frequently. And when you are talking to them, generally they're just giving you tasks. They're not actually, you know, going back and forth with you to where you need to persuade them. But again, they're harder to talk to, so it's your choice. I'm going to go with final offer first, though, because that one doesn't lock me out of anything else. It's just, again, straight benefit. Right, so that's out of the way. Let's go talk to Sir Radzig.
Would that be the smith's son, Hal?
On my soul, it is him. What are you doing here, lad? We thought you were done for.
I must speak with Sir Radzig. Is he here?
He's in the palace with Sir Hanush of Rattay. They're feasting in the Knight's Hall. What do you want with him?
My father made him a sword. He asked me to deliver it to Sir Radzig.
I don't see any sword.
No. Bandits attacked me and stole it. I need to tell his lordship what happened. And then I'm going to find the sword.
Of course you are, Hal. Good luck.
Thanks.
That little hood is causing some weird clipping issues with his neck. So let's head upstairs. I believe they're on the top floor, because that's where the lords, of course, would be. They wouldn't be down in the servants' area. And they've got a guard posted here, so that makes sense.
Your Graces, I have to tell you in all seriousness that this land of ours is in the shit. Deep fucking shit. Don't you agree?
I might not have put it as eloquently as you, Hanush, but I've been driven out of my own castle, so I'm hardly going to disagree.
Indeed. But Birkstein is yours for as long as you need it. There's room enough for your men and you here at Rattay, and I'm sure my ward won't have any objection to me lending you his castle.
I'd be honored. Birkstein is at your disposal as long as you wish, Your Grace.
Just as well you have another castle at the other end of town, eh? At any rate, I'm beholden to you, Sir Hans, and to you, Sir Hanush.
I don't like to speak ill of your people, Sir Radzig, but, well, there's no love lost between the townsfolk and the refugees. There's been talk of criminality.
Well, they'll have to get used to it until the situation's resolved.
But when will it be resolved? And what on God's earth is this war even about? I won't lie, sir. I don't understand it.
You aren't alone, Father. I believe Sigismund's original intention was to persuade Wenceslas to accept the imperial crown and to leave the rule of Bohemia to him.
Who could blame him? I know Wenceslas is a friend of yours, Radzig, but even you have to admit he brought it upon himself.
I can't deny the king neglected affairs of state for other pursuits. There is a need for order in the land, but I don't think the lords who sided with Sigismund realized just what Hungarian order looks like.
Hungarian order?
What concerns me, sir, is how a good Christian could resort to such brutality.
To give him his due, I don't think he expected the lords of this country to stand behind the king. But thanks to him, we're tearing ourselves apart, and now he has to get things under control.
But why in God's name does he have to use those barbarians?
Money is the root of all evil, young sir. Wars are costly, and this one has dragged on for a year. Sigismund ran out of coin for knights, so he recruited those whore sons that settled in Hungary. The less he pays, the more they make up for it with plunder.
That's why he attacked us. He was after our silver.
What are you doing? You've no business here. Clear off.
Wait, it's Henry. Henry, who disappeared after I clearly ordered him to remain at Taunberg.
I'm sorry, sir, but I had to bury my parents.
Had to? Do you think you were the only man who lost someone there? But the others listened to their lord.
And it wasn't just your own life you nearly threw away. So Robard and his men risked theirs to save you.
I'm sorry, but I had to.
Oh, there you go. When you have to, Radzig.
Your father was a remarkable man, and your mother, she was remarkable too. They deserved a Christian burial. Did you manage that at least?
No. I was attacked by thieves. I wouldn't be here now if it wasn't for that girl.
Girl?
The miller's daughter, Teresa.
The miller's daughter saved you from the footpads? Well, there's a tale to tell your children.
I owe her my life. She distracted them and then brought me to Rattay. But without Sir Robard, we'd both be dead.
Oh, that's what I call a good woman. Hang on to that one, lad.
Still, it's a great shame your parents are buried in unconsecrated ground. That means purgatory for them.
Be quiet, Friar. I didn't invite you here to eat me out of house and home and deliver a sermon while you were doing it.
If you're so concerned, Father, maybe you should save the innocent souls of these fine Christians yourself. Go to Skalitz and consecrate their graves. I assure you, if you're killed by bandits, your soul will soar straight to heaven, as long as someone buries you in consecrated ground first.
If there's anything left to bury, that plump carcass of yours would be quite a feast for the wolves and the crows. And one skeleton looks much like another, so how would we know which were your ordained bones or those of Sigismund's Tartars?
Be that as it may, why have you come here?
I must get your sword back.
Sword? My sword hangs here at my side.
No, the sword my father forged for you. One of those thieves stole it from me.
They almost killed him and he already wants to go back.
Takes after his father, I suppose. Lad, I've lost a castle, a village, silver mines, and a good half of my subjects. Why would I miss one sword?
Because it's the last one my father forged, and I promised him I'd deliver it to you.
I understand. I'd feel the same way. But prudence is the better part of valor, and a dead man keeps no promises.
Aye. The woman had to save his fat from the fire, and now he wants revenge. What kind of fool are you, boy?
He's no fool. Henry, you have courage, but you need training, arms, a horse. Or do you mean to beat this thief at dice?
No, sir. Please, take me into your service and give me the chance to learn these things.
The gall of him. Fled from the enemy, disobeyed your orders, duped Sir Divish, lost your sword, put Sir Robard in danger with his actions, and now he wants a promotion.
Sir Capon's right.
What you say is certainly true, except for fleeing the enemy. You would have run as well, believe me. Henry's earned some punishment, but how do you punish someone who's already lost everything, Courage and blind obedience are good qualities for a soldier, but a wise man also appreciates loyalty, perseverance, and determination. Besides, that was a fine sword that his father made. If he thinks he can get it back, I won't turn it down.
My lord, he's a peasant. You can't make a squire of a peasant.
Why not? Someone made a priest of a pig.
He isn't a peasant, Father, he's a blacksmith, and recent events have left me in need of his skills. So, you'd like to enter my service?
Sir, Yes, I would. You won't regret it.
I probably will. I'm doing this for your father, lad. Don't it disappoint me.
Oh, fortune has finally smiled on you today, lad. Make the most of it.
Now that I think about it, Sir Hanush, the boy needs training and experience, and you need spear carriers.
That's true. The bailiff is always complaining about your people making trouble in the camp. Maybe one of their own among the guard might help.
It might. In any event, it will prove valuable experience.
But let's be clear. You're the one paying him. Captain Bernard, see to his training, and then send him to the bailiff.
Yes, sir.
And don't spare him.
You can rely on it, sir.
Don't forget, Henry. Don't disappoint me.
I won't, my lord. I'm here for training.
Yes, you're that boy Sir Radzig sent.
Yes, that's me.
Let's get to it then, since that's what Sir Radzig wishes. And because you've never held a sword in your hand before, we'll start with something simpler.
So if you, for whatever reason, missed the little bit of sword practice at the beginning in the prologue, you can revisit those things here if you're still not super familiar with those concepts. Again, he'll teach you the basics, but since I'm very familiar with them, let's go right into the sort of advanced stuff.
My father was a blacksmith, so I've learned a thing or two.
Fine, we'll try something more advanced then. Take care now. Very well then. Let's see what you're made of, lad. Come at me and don't hold back.
Alright, so we just spar with him for a little bit. And he's pretty much gonna just completely destroy us because he's so much better and we're not allowed to do any advanced maneuvers yet. So he's just going to tee off on us over and over again. There's very little you can actually do about it.
Right, lesson 2. Everything you've learned about blocking is wrong. When I cover, I can simply fend off your blows with my sword and gain control of the space between us. But it's better not to control just the space, but actually your opponent's weapon. Attack, and I'll show you. All right, that will do. Now you. The trick is to stay in your stance. As soon as I start to attack, you block. The move knocks the blade aside.
Okay, so we've finally unlocked the ability to do the perfect block. They're going to give it to us really easy here.
That's it.
By moving in super slow-mo.
All right.
And eventually, we'll be able to turn these into parries and counterattacks. But for now, all we can do is just fend off the sword.
All right.
And the last thing for today, a trick. You raise the sword to force your opponent to block, but then change the direction of the attack at the last moment, and the opponent won't even know what hit him. Try it. Draw back the weapon, then change the attack zone and strike, so I don't have time to react.
Okay, so feinting. I've been trying to feint for a while, forgetting that we can't do it until now. Oh, where'd you go?
Nice.
So basically all we're doing is starting the attack in one direction and then finishing it in another. So starting high and then swinging right. Or left and then, whoops, right and then left. Oh, we're done,
Well,
that's why.
That wasn't too bad. Maybe we'll make a soldier of you after all. But don't get cocky. You have to train hard and persistently. You might have talent, but talent alone won't do. Practice. Don't leave yet. Sir Radzig also wanted me to teach you archery. Come with me. Let's see then. Take this bow, go and stand in position over there, and we can start. And another thing, put on this arm guard. Without it, you could flay your forearm with a bowstring, so be sure to wear it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks, and get in position. Now concentrate. A bow ain't exactly the weapon of choice of a knight, but it can come in very handy. You've got two bandits coming at you from a distance. You shoot one in the eye, drop your bow, and draw your sword on the other. Emperor Charles, God rest him, encouraged his subjects to learn archery. He even organized contests in Prague. But you wouldn't have gotten far there. You're holding the thing like a piece of firewood. But enough talk. There's the target. Try and hit it. Draw the bow, aim, and release. Try to get a feel for the rhythm. Inhale on the draw, hold your breath for a moment, and then release the string. No jerky movements, just let the string slide out of your fingers, as if you were about to draw it back more. It's all one movement, the arrow aiming at the target and flying at it. Shoot away. What you have there is a training bow. The arrow drops quickly. Once you've trained a bit, you can get yourself a better one, and then those arrows will fly so fast you won't see them. Don't forget the arm guard. Once you've mastered the bow a bit, you won't need it. Well, that was awful. I didn't imagine a village yokel like you would have much skill, but you failed to meet even my low expectations.
I don't know why you're wasting your time, Sir Bernard. Nothing will come of him anyway, and at the first sign of trouble, he'll run away like any other cowardly peasant. After all, he's done it before.
What did you say?
Calm down, boy. Keep in mind who you're talking to.
The braggart who was born with a silver spoon in his mouth.
Now, you've really done it. You'll go to the stocks for that.
Calm yourself, Sir Bernard. If the blacksmith boy feels he can prove himself, then let him try. Do you think you can beat me? Well?
Anytime.
Very well. If you defeat me, I'll give you my bow. If you lose, you'll have to pay up. Do you even have any coin?
I have enough.
Good. Then let's get to it.
I don't know why they were talking trash there. But we do want to make sure we finish first here because that's going to give us 3 free points. It's also worth mentioning I'm running a mod that increases archery speed in the sense that it makes the arrows fly faster, which also results in greater bow damage. So archery is going to be a lot more potent in this playthrough than it would otherwise be. But I'm also adjusting to the new trajectories because they don't fly as arced as they did before. I'd be very surprised if he can catch me at this point. Nope.
Well, I didn't expect that. Probably just wasn't your day, sir.
I told you I have a heavy hand, ever since I fell off that horse during the last hunt. What are you grinning about, boy? I think you owe me a little payback. How about a sword fight at the arena?
If you like.
Sir Hans, is this necessary? Sir Hanush has already had words about you fighting with your subjects. He explicitly told me.
I know what he told you. You can just tell him I didn't listen to you. So what's it going to be, blacksmith?
If we must.
Excellent. Then let's go.
Alright, let's do this. Ooh. Caught me off guard. Let's see. I'm gonna dodge and stab. I don't know what this sword is better at because this isn't my sword. This is just one that they gave me. So I don't know if thrusting is better or stabbing, or not stabbing, slicing. Hard to say. I guess I'll try both.
Lost your wind?
Come on, attack me. For some reason it won't let me counterattack. There's like a delay, so I can't swing immediately after I parry. Oh, shouldn't have fainted there. He was ready for it. Oh, block, block. There we go. Got one of them. Ooh, there we go. Oh, and right across the face. And these are, I mean, they're metal swords. That would have opened him up whether this thing was sharpened or not. So one of the most important things in dueling is you're bound to get hit eventually unless you're just perfect, which, you know, most people aren't. But if you can prevent the enemy from landing combos on you, that's really important. So you notice every time I've been hit so far, I still manage to deflect the second blow. So he never lands more than one hit in a row on me. And that's really the best way to keep yourself afloat in combat. You'll get hit, let your armor soak it up, just don't let yourself get comboed. Yeah, and for some reason, it's not letting me perfect block those. Normally, when somebody parries your swing, you have the opportunity to parry back, but in this case I don't. I'm not sure why that is. It might just be our skill's not high enough yet. Come on. Yeah, see there, I screwed up. I should have tried to at least block. I'm trying to dodge, and it's not letting me, though. So maybe I should just stop trying to dodge. It seemed to work pretty well that first time. What's it gonna be? Yeah, I can't dodge, so forget it. No, come on. Come on, Henry, you had this. I should just keep fighting how I normally fight. I think that's the mistake here, is trying to do stuff differently. Block, block, block. Ah, it's like I'm forced to just stand there and take it. He will not react. There, I got one of them. What's it gonna be, Sir Hans? Yeah, I had my sword in the right place there, I just didn't care. He's actually giving it to us quite good. We're gonna have to repair our armor pretty considerably here. I wish I could use combos.
Your end is nigh.
Well, at least we're leveling up. Every time I try to feint, he just attacks me straight away. Which is smart. I mean, he should do that. But it makes it real hard to be the aggressor here. Nice dodge. Oh, and of course my dodge doesn't work. Let's see. He blocks everything I counter with. There we go. Oh, I should have followed that up. I was too slow on the second one. I could have gotten 2 hits in there. There we go.
Well, you got the better of me this time, blacksmith. I must be having an off day.
Are you alright, sir?
Don't worry your mangy head about me, peasant. We'll see each other again soon enough. You can keep my bow. Its best years are behind it anyway.
Okay.
You better hope his lordship hasn't taken it badly.
He shouldn't have challenged me.
Careful. You might be under Sir Radzig's protection, but you'd be wise to stay on good terms with the other noblemen too. Now go to the rat house. The bailiff's waiting for you there.
All right, Captain. I'm to put myself under the bailiff's command.
Ah, so you're the young man Sir Radzig appointed?
Yes.
Very well. Sir Radzig asked me to test you a little, and as it happens, you've come at the right time. We've a few disputes to settle. It seems some of your former neighbors have been acting quite inappropriately. I was hoping having one of their own on the town watch might help sort things out.
You can count on me, bailiff.
You're certainly bold. I like that. Have you been to see Captain Bernard?
I have. He trained me, and then Sir Hans Capon challenged me to a duel.
I see. Sir Hans Capon likes to measure his strength against others. But be careful, Henry. Noblemen are quick to anger, and you don't need that kind of trouble. Well, anyway, you're going to assist my town guard. Come to the church in the afternoon. Yaroslav the Watchman, Nightingale they call him, will wait for you there. He'll show you around the town and teach you a little about keeping the peace. And you need to stop by the armory to pick up some gear.
Yes, bailiff. I was told to pick up a kit here.
I'd say there's not much room for improvement. You already look as good as any vassal, but your wish is my command. If my memory serves me, you're entitled to a helmet, a gambeson, and a club.
That's all?
You want a kiss and a hug as well?
I mean equipment.
It's quite enough for patrolling the town. You're there to stop trouble, not start it.
Here I am. My name is Henry. We're supposed to go on patrol together?
I see you're kitted out.
Ready to get going.
I'm Nightingale. Aren't you that lad the mill wench brought here on a cart?
Teresa. Yes, she rescued me. She turned up with Captain Robard and his knights.
All honor to the girl. She has bigger balls than most men. Tell me, how did you pay her back?
Well, I thanked her.
That's not much, is it? You should go and see her when you get a chance. So, how did you end up in the service of the bailiff?
I wanted to enter the service of Sir Radzig, but he sent me here to learn.
And learn you will. You're lucky, lad. Sir Radzig must like you. Most lords would have just sent you on your way.
Come with me, Henry. We'll patrol the town and then check on the taverns to make sure they lock up in the evening.
I'm ready.
Don't forget, I'm supposed to try you out and, with the help of God, teach you something. So I expect you to deal with any misconduct yourself. I'll make sure you don't do anything too stupid. Let's go. What the hell is going on here now? Go and check it out, Henry.
If you won't go to the church, go back to your people.
What's the problem here?
This is my shop, and I won't have beggars sitting on my doorstep. Let her go and squat in the square. She won't be in anyone's way there, and there's plenty of folk to beg from.
Must you sit here, of all places?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Folk drive me away wherever I sit. I can't keep walking all day and night.
Can't you show us some Christian charity, Armourer?
What? Have you any idea how much I've given away in alms, even to this witch only yesterday?
Is that true?
Might be, might not.
Did you get any alms or not?
Yes.
From the Armourer here?
I don't know. And even if I did, that was yesterday, and my belly's empty again today.
That's true.
What would you know about it?
We're both good Christians, aren't we? We should each give something to the poor soul.
And what then?
Then Jane will be on her way. Immediately.
King Solomon now, are you, lad? Fine. Fine, have it your way.
God bless you, and you too, citizen. I won't be a nuisance no more, really. Thank you. Thank you.
Jesus, you're as bad as each other.
Your old neighbors are living here now. It's a bit of a shithole. Even so, you should be thankful to Sir Hanush. If the town burghers got their way, your folk wouldn't be let anywhere near the town. And now our people aren't too happy with him. Some fools are even calling for Sir Hanush to finally hand the fiefdom over to the young lord, Sir Hans Capon. Sir Hans's father, old Sir Yeshke, may God rest his soul, kept it till he was an old man. Then he retired from it, first to Moravia, then to eternity. Sir Hanush is managing the fiefdom until Sir Hans comes of age. They're related by blood somehow, the same great-great-grandfather or some such. The time's coming soon enough when the estates have to be handed over. These affairs often end in conflict. I hope we have nothing like that here. Here's the forge. The blacksmith has some trouble and he's not working at the moment, but his apprentice is standing in for him tolerably. I hear you're a blacksmith's apprentice too. You lot could help if needed, couldn't you?
Us? What do you mean?
You and your master, or your father, whoever taught you.
They...
What is it, lad?
My father was the master blacksmith. He was killed in Skalitz.
Ah, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Thank you. So am I.
My papa died not long ago. Of course, it was old age got him. That's not the same, but I know a little how you feel. God be with you, Benesh. How goes it?
Well enough, Nightingale. It's quiet today.
Good. Where's Moimir, anyway? Isn't he supposed to be here with you?
Ah, yes. He hasn't turned up yet.
Oh, I see. Now, where might he have got to, then?
I don't know.
You don't know, eh? Let me tell you something. When the bailiff finds out Moimir's slacking off, he'll be in serious shit. And being a friend of his, you wouldn't want that, would you?
No.
So it's better if I deal with it and we leave the bailiff out of it, right?
Yes, I suppose so.
So where is he?
In the tavern. He was thirsty, so he...
Went for an ale. We know how that goes. Come on, Henry. Let's go and find that idler, and you'd better talk some sense into him. What the fuck are you doing here when you're supposed to be on the gate? Move your carcass and go and guard the gate. Not a word. Get moving. You're lucky it was me found out, not the bailiff, or God forbid, Captain Bernard. Out! Come and sit with me, Henry. Let's have a drink. That fool got me all worked up.
Shouldn't we be on patrol instead of drinking?
You're eager, aren't you? Don't worry. Even watchmen are entitled to a break. Except the ones on the gate and the tower, of course. But that's enough about that. Let's not let it spoil our day. Listen, since we're sitting here anyway, how about a little game? Just one more thing and we're done for the night. Ringing the end of the day and closing the taverns.
Isn't it still a bit early?
I don't know how it was in Skalitz, but here in Rattay we close up at this hour. Except, of course, during fairs and big festivals. Then we don't close at all.
I see. Should I go and ring the bell?
If you wouldn't mind. The bell is hanging outside the rat house.
Ring 3 times, then go to the Trader's Tavern by the market square and make sure the innkeeper closes up.
I'll do that.
Before I forget, it's forbidden to walk in Rattay at night without a torch. Here, take this one.
And the canon of St. Wenceslas in Olomouc was so drunk, he dragged the pig to the market square, saddled it up, and rode it out of the town gate. no, we could see that this wasn't going to end well. So, Sir Peter and I rode off to look for the good canon on his pig.
Did you find him?
We tracked the filthy beast down to a sty beyond Cronau. I mean, the beast with a tonsure on its head. We never found the real pig, but the Reverend was sound asleep in the pigsty.
Birds of a feather stick together. It seems the same goes for pigs and prelates. I toast, gentlemen, to pigs and prelates.
God save their bacon.
Sir Hans, forgive my intrusion, but I need...
Oh, but what? You want to join us? Want to buy us around? I'm afraid we don't drink with peasants. You're not in your village now, boy.
No, sir. Curfew's been rung. The alehouse is closing.
Nothing closes while I'm sitting here. If that's all, you're dismissed.
Are you out of your mind, lad? You can't cross his lordship. He's got a temper like a bear with gut ache. If I was you, I'd get lost before he shows it.
The bailiff instructed me to close the tavern at the proper hour. He doesn't want anyone disturbing the peace after curfew.
The bailiff? The bailiff can kiss my arse. I trust you haven't forgotten who's the rightful lord of Rattay.
No, it's Sir Hannes.
Oh, is he here? What, is he he's hiding under the table, maybe? No! Then what he wants isn't worth a fart in a bathhouse. And besides, he's only in charge till I grow up.
Which clearly hasn't happened yet.
Enough! You can't talk to me like that. I'm a nobleman.
Come now, sirs. You're not going to fight here, are you?
We most definitely are. This yokel needs to be taught his place.
All right, one more round of fisticuffs before we call it a day. Let's see how we can do. He looks like he's still beat up from our last little duel, so I don't think he's going to be particularly hard to take down. We don't need to do that much damage to him anyways.
Did I tell you about my wife's making?
Oh god, he's got blood all over the barrel behind him.
Well, she only started not long ago. Always in the evening, while it's still ahead of life.
Oh, what's he going to be?
Crucifix! What in the name of Christ is happening here? Well, answer me, damn you!
This peasant insulted me. I had to teach him a lesson.
By rolling around in the mud like a hog? That's a fine example of noble conduct.
Sir Hannes, the bailiff ordered me to...
Silence! You shut your mouth and thank your lucky stars that you are Radzig's ward. Have you gone out of your mind? Raising your hand to a nobleman? And you, Hans, how many times have I told you that drinking with your subjects might be good for their morale, but it's bad for your honor? You spend all your days drinking and chasing wenches, which wouldn't matter if you paid any attention at all to your duties. And now we see what that leads to. Tomorrow, you will go with me to a hearing. Some landowners have asked me to settle a dispute. It'll be an excellent lesson for you.
I had planned to go hunting, but if you think listening to the pointless gripes of a bunch of old fools will benefit me, so be it.
Oh, hunting? Well then, Your Grace, I'll tell you what. You can go hunting.
Really?
Oh, naturally. Who am I to deprive the young Lord Capon of his sport? And you can take Henry here as your page.
Him? Absolutely not.
You'll do as I've commanded. It's time you learned how to lead people, and not just in drinking and brawling. Now get out of my sight.
Sir, I have responsibilities to the bailiff.
Not anymore. Your responsibilities now are the Lord Capon. It's time you learned how to behave in the presence of nobility. Let's go. Tell the kitchen I'm hungry. It's been a long journey.
Alright, so I really apologize for all the pop in there. I'm not sure what's happening with the textures. I've even turned the graphics down slightly from the first 2 episodes just to help avoid with any performance issues. I don't know what's causing that because the textures aren't 4K anymore, they're just 2K. So they're still HD, but we're not running in like Ultra HD. And yet it still happens. And as far as I can tell, my CPU, my GPU aren't under significant load. So it might just be that the game is poorly optimized. It might be another setting I need to tweak, but I'm going to try to iron that out because it looks terrible to me, so I know it's going to look terrible to you guys. Anyways, that's where we're going to leave it for today. I'm going to go ahead and get Henry to bed, and first thing in the morning we're going to have to go hunting with Sir Hans, so that's where we will pick up with the next one.
Stop right there. I have to search you.
Okay.
What's going on? Such are my orders.
As you wish.
All's well. Mind how you go.
Yeah, we need to get our rep up because we're going to be dealing with that a lot. Anyway, next episode we'll be hunting with Sir Hans and other shenanigans, I'm sure. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Kingdom Come Deliverance with you. Don't forget to keep the likes and comments going if you're enjoying this series. And again, I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.